Aunt Gray is here.
I am.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
But how did she know? That's the question. How did she know? She's stalking me? Is that what's going on? Yeah, it's a little frightening, isn't it?
She's doing.
Yeah, thought so. Yeah, it's unsettling. I'll tell you that right now. It's just plain unsettling. Okay?
Take a breath and it'll be okay.
We're joined, obviously, by Jeffy today, as Keith had his surgery yesterday. You heard how it went?
Yeah, he's home. He got home late yesterday, and they propped him up, and he's got they put in, I don't know, half a dozen screws or something in his hip. And
Seriously?
Yeah, I think
he got screws in his hip?
Yeah, the doc said they put in 4 instead of 2. When he got in there, it was worse than expected.
It always is.
Yeah,
that's what they said about the skin cancer I had too. Yeah, we had to take a lot more than we thought. I'm like, oh, good. Thank you for sharing that with me. Appreciate that.
I couldn't have noticed the hole in my head.
Right. I noticed it was pretty deep there, and you had to have 10 stitches to sew it up and 5 for this. So, yeah. Thanks for letting me know. So it seems he's resting down home.
Yeah.
He's jogging. He's entering a marathon next week.
Swinging the hip off the side of the bed, getting that rehab going, so he's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the different theories now, because they used to, you need to go home and rest, and you need to stay off that for 6 months, a year, or maybe 2. Now it's like, okay, surgery's over, get up.
I mean, when I had
we're jogging down the hospital aisles here.
My knee replacement, I mean, you're up.
Yeah,
I mean, they want you walking.
Yep.
Right now.
Definitely.
Because the first, according to my my surgeon and my orthopedic surgeon, is that the first 6 months, that's what you get. As far as movement and feeling everything. So they want you rehabbing like now.
Yeah.
And get that thing
even though
moving.
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah. Stop being a wuss cake. Get up. Get up off your dead butt. Get moving.
Oh, did I forget to take that out? Let me pull that cord out of you for a second. Okay, all right, now go ahead, walk.
All right. Hey, some interesting news from yesterday. Parler CEO John Mates kicked out of his own company by the board.
What?
Yeah, booted right on out. CEO John Mates at Parler is now gone. On January 29th, 2021,
last Friday,
the Parler board, controlled by Rebecca Mercer, decided to immediately terminate my position as CEO of Parler. This was his company, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's his deal.
It always bugs me when people get booted out of their own company. Look, I started this. Get out of here.
We don't care.
That's what happens when you get a board, because you're trading publicly.
Yeah.
You have to answer to people, and that's what happens. But I think it's sickening when people are kicked out of their own company.
Especially because he was the face of this fight.
Right.
He's the guy.
Right. He said, I did not participate in this decision. I understand that those who now control the company have made some communications to employees and other third parties that have unfortunately created confusion and prompted me to make this public statement. Fascinating. So what do you want to bet?
Wow.
What do you want to bet? This Rebecca Mercer and maybe the board has made a little arrangement with the powers that be that, we'll start. Let us back on, and we will censor people. We'll censor them.
So they couldn't find any outlet that was going to try to get them back into the world.
They're still not up.
Right,
they're still not back.
So any of those outlets have been shut down.
Really sucks.
Right? No way. They're not going to be allowed to do it and stay alive.
Right.
So
you just can't fight the system. We're going to make sure you just can't. And if you do, we're going to crush you. We're going to stomp you and squish you like a bug.
It sure feels that way, man. And the guy that now is, the guy that's now going was just announced yesterday that was in charge of Amazon. That's going to be in charge of Amazon when Jeff, I call him
Bezos,
Jeff, when he leaves, goes to a special board position. That guy was in charge of the cloud system, which is what kicked Parler off.
Yeah, right.
So maybe they are saying,
maybe.
Well, maybe okay. I'll tell you what.
Because we're not getting any relief from that Andy Jassy guy at Amazon.
No.
Because like you said, he was in charge of the cloud.
Yeah.
And it was the cloud.
And he built that. Google's losing money on their cloud because Jassy's Amazon cloud is so powerful.
Amazing. That's incredible. Think of that. So that's how dominant Amazon
Yes.
is. Do you see Amazon is worth $1.6 trillion. $1.6 trillion.
Let me ask you a question. Is that a lot?
Seems like a lot. Yeah, it does seem like a lot for a company.
Now, I know we talk about the cloud. I mean, I know
Wow.
Google said yesterday, I think they made, I don't know, 50 or 60 billion dollars in the last quarter. So it's not like darn, we lost a little money over here on the cloud service.
Yeah.
But really, that's a big deal.
That is
right?
a big deal. Yeah.
I mean, Jesse's got the Amazon cloud just booming.
Jeez. I mean, is that more than Apple, or is Apple up to 2 trillion now? Because Apple just passed the trillion mark, what, a year and a half ago or so? 2 years?
Bigger now.
I'm not sure who's bigger now, Amazon or Apple.
I don't think Apple is at 2 yet, are they?
And then you've got Tesla, who sells about 8 cars a year. It's the most valuable car company in the world. They're close to $1 trillion now. It's an amazing world we're living in, and these few billionaires are kind of directing all of it.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're in a good position right now to just have their way with everything and everyone. You know, it's a lot like, what was that? Oh, Continuum. You watched Continuum,
I did, yeah.
right? Where corporations are in charge now. The corporation is the government.
Yep.
That TV show took place in 2077, I think. Wasn't it supposed to be 2077? It's happened a little sooner than that.
I don't remember, but
because we're there now. We're there now, where Google and Amazon and Apple and Facebook and Twitter are pretty much running the show right now.
I mean, we've seen that.
They're
We've
doing
seen
it.
evidence of that.
Yep.
In the last few months, for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, it showed itself, prior to that. But I mean, it really came to fruition the last few months.
No question about it.
We went in front of your silly little Congress and Senate people, and
Just to humor them.
But nothing was done.
Right.
Nothing was done.
No, that's right.
They went and said,
That's right.
We probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Jeez.
And yet nothing is done. And then now, since then, they've just raised their head and said, we're just going to take over.
And look what these guys are worth. I'm all about capitalism. But, man, this is amazing.
Oh, no.
Elon Musk, richest man in the world, runs, obviously, Tesla and SpaceX. And
Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink.
I love Neuralink, man.
Neuralink is, man, that's going to be something when they get that thing rolling. At 49 years old, he is worth $208 billion. $208 billion. I remember it was just a few years ago when Bill Gates was the richest man in the world. He was worth like $30 billion. Then it was 50. Then it's 60.
Spit out $30 billion.
Yeah. $208 billion. Bezos, relegated to second place now, $197 billion.
Yeah, he can't even crack 2.
We need to get a GoFundMe page set up for him. I'm really concerned about Jeff right now.
And
I'm worried about him.
He's losing his position.
Yeah, right.
Now?
Right.
I mean,
won't you please help? Starving billionaire. Won't you please? Your donation of just $100 million per month will go a long way toward putting Jeff back to where he needs to be.
Just seems like yesterday I was flying in my own jet.
He still is. Don't kid yourself. He still is. Bill Gates, $134 billion. He's number 3. Mark Zuckerberg. How much do you think? And I remember when Mark Zuckerberg was worth like $10 billion. That wasn't very long ago. $101 billion now.
He's over 100.
Yeah. Just crazy. Jeez. And those two, Bill Gates stole his technology from Xerox and IBM, and Mark Zuckerberg stole his from the Winklevoss twins or whatever they are.
Criminals.
The Winkle-Blinken twins.
Yeah, Blinken and Nod. No, that's the Secretary of State.
All right. Yeah. Yes. Larry Page then from Google, $89.4 billion, and then Sergey Brin from Google, $86.5 billion. Jeez. Like if you were to put their fortunes back together,
Right.
they'd be what, third on the list? They'd still be third. And then you got Jack Dorsey, who's essentially like living in a trailer park compared to these guys.
Oh yeah, he's
only worth $13.1 billion.
I mean, yeah, he's the little guy.
What kind of douchebag is he? Wow. I really can't stand that guy either. He
is seems a tad unlikable.
Doesn't he though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's completely unrepentant about shutting down the right. And he lies like through his communist teeth every time he's called on it. Oh, no, we don't. We don't. There's no discrimination against the right there. We treat everybody equally. Really?
We do. You follow. Look, it was a company policy.
Yeah, company policy.
An individual or two may have acted harshly, and we've addressed that.
Yeah.
And what else you got to say?
Can I help it that it's only people on the right that are violating our company's policy? No, I can't help that.
No?
I can't help it.
They've read the rules and rights and policies of use.
Or at least you should have. You said, I agree, right? You click on I agree.
You did.
You agree.
Yes, you did.
There's no telling what we've
clicked
to agree.
I just agreed to the new yearly thing on Twitter not long ago.
Which is? Give us the specifics on some of the updated policy that you read about before you clicked I agree.
Do you agree or not? Agree.
Agree. Let me back on your site, will you?
Want to tweet this statement.
That's right. And who knows what it is we're signing? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
No idea.
Is there even a lawyer who's read all that crap? I doubt it. It's amazing. All right, 888-900-3393. During the course of the day, we're going to tell you about AOC, who recounted her hellish experience. The horror. The hellish horror that she experienced on Capitol Hill. There's a report out. She wasn't even there, according to one report, which I tend to believe. But we'll tell you why she thought she was going to die when those awful people stormed the Capitol building. Also, Jen Psaki doesn't seem to know where Tokyo is. That's kind of fun.
Oh, she gets,
I love that.
That's really good because she also gets angry again when called out on it.
She's not going to last very long in this position with her attitude because
right.
I mean, she's biting people's heads off for nothing. I mean, all these people are with her.
Oh, they bailed her out
over and over again.
This particular clip, if it's the one I'm thinking of with the Tokyo and the Olympics, I mean, that reporter bailed her out, and she was still like
still pissed. Yeah. Also, Anthony Fauci, our friend, Dr. Saint Fauci of DCC, he says, don't have any Super Bowl watch parties. Don't invite anybody over to your house. You can only watch with the people who live with you. Okay? Oh. I don't want to hear about it.
Is that a quote from
That's
him?
Pretty much a quote.
About it?
He said, you don't want parties with people that you haven't had much contact with. That's what he said on Good Morning America yesterday. You just don't know if they're infected.
Right.
Do we have him say? Yes, okay, here he is saying
it. The Super Bowl is going to become another super spreader event.
Well, I hope not, George. I believe that they're trying to keep people separated enough in the stands wearing masks so that they don't have that proximity. If you abide by the 4 or 5 things that you and I have been talking about for a long time, continually wearing a mask, universally wearing a mask, physical distance, avoid congregate settings, and if you're outdoors and you're several feet apart, 6, 7, 8, 10 feet,
6, 7, 8, 10,
be okay
40,
as long as people abide by that and don't
like
slip.
So no Super Bowl parties?
Absolutely not. I mean, watch the Super Bowl on TV, enjoy it, have a party in your house with your family, with the people who are there. But the one thing you don't want to do, don't want to be somebody that's putting a damper on anything, but you don't want parties with people that you haven't had much contact with. You just don't know if they're infected. So as difficult as that is, at least this time around, just lay low and cool it.
Just lay low and cool it. Look, it's not forever over there, okay?
That will probably change tomorrow.
It ain't forever. It's just for the next decade or so. over there. Don't worry about it. All right?
And he'll probably do an interview on the NFL Network tomorrow and say that it's okay.
Yeah. Well, he loves to take both sides of every issue, so we'll see.
But that's what L.A. did, right? I mean, that was what L.A. did last week, saying that the TVs had to be off and they were going to drag you out into the streets.
Yeah, the TVs in restaurants have to be turned off.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
But that was why, right? They didn't want people
they don't want you congregating or yelling, at the TV like you would. Yeah! And then you're spreading all your spray all over the place.
I hate that.
It's a super spreader event, Jeffy. That's the problem. It's a super spreader event, and we can't have that over there, okay? All right.
Sure, you can go have fun.
It ain't forever. Go have fun with the people that you live with, but nobody else over there, okay? Don't invite a single person over to your house that doesn't live under your roof over there.
And in fact, if you're going to be cheering, wear a mask.
Wear a mask. It's good advice right there. It's good advice. Wear two.
Thank you.
In fact, wear two.
Well, in the house?
Yeah. In the house. Yeah, because you're going to be screaming. So, yeah, you want to wear two. All right, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. This is Glenn's company, and so his people have really carefully vetted all of these agents. If they can't find somebody who who matches the standards or exceeds the standards that we have for them, they just don't have an agent in that area. So these guys and women are really, really good at what they do. They've got great track records and marketing plans, and they're not going to just rely on open houses to have people come into your home every weekend and you have to leave and you have to keep your house spotless. It's such a hassle. Buying a home and selling a home, those are both tough prospects, and it's the biggest investment probably you are ever going to make in your lifetime. So it's really important. You need somebody you can trust. And Real Estate Agents I Trust, the name really says it all. Plus, they're fans of the show, so you're going to have a lot in common with them. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. I think you're going to be really happy, especially if you're relocating and you have to sell at one end and buy at the other. You need people you can trust. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray returns.
Oh, and John Kerry, our climate czar, whatever his official title is, love him. It's great to have him back, isn't it?
It sure is. I'm glad we voted him into office. And,
which we didn't.
People wanted him there.
We didn't do that. He was appointed by this awful president that we have.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Again, I'm happy about seeing him, though.
Yeah, right. Me too. Took a private jet to Iceland. This was clear back in 2019, so it's practically ancient history. But he flew there to receive the Arctic Circle Award for climate leadership. And now this video has surfaced or resurfaced because an Icelandic reporter, some reporter from Iceland,
calls him out,
asked him the question that all American reporters should be asking this guy. And here's what happened.
On that issue, pollution, I understand that you came here with a private jet. Is that an environmental way to travel?
If you offset your carbon, it's the only choice for somebody like me who is traveling the world to win this battle.
That's unbelievable. Tell you that
I
right now.
negotiated the Paris Accords for the United States.
Oh, that's right. You're
I've
important.
been involved in this fight for years. I negotiated with President Xi to bring President Xi to the table
so I
we
could do
get
what
Paris.
I want.
And I believe the time it takes me to get somewhere, I can't sail across the ocean. I have to fly to meet with people and get
My time
things
is
done.
important to yours.
But what I'm doing,
your time
almost
isn't
full
important.
time,
Almost
is
full
working
time
to win the battle of climate change.
Right, that's what I'm doing.
In the end, if I offset and contribute my life to do this, I'm not going to be put on the defensive.
I'm not going to be put on the defensive for this.
Wow. You know what? It's the only choice for people like me, people who are better than you are. And I am better than you. Look, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, if you have any. Do little insignificant scumbags like you have feelings? Actually, I don't care. Don't even answer the question. It doesn't make any difference. But I need to do whatever I want to do. You don't. So just remember, I'm elite, and how dare you ask me a question, you little worm. You maggot. You people, you little people. You know, the little people like you are completely unimportant. You sicken me. You nauseate me is what you do. And how telling is it that it's a reporter from Iceland, a little crappy country like Iceland, asking me a question like that. No important reporter from a real country would ask me a question like that. You bastard. Get out of my face. I do what I want.
But you're here collecting an award we're giving you.
That is unbelievable. If you believe, as he supposedly does, that we're killing this planet, I don't care what your timetable is. I don't care how important you are. I don't care how busy you are. You don't take private jets anywhere.
I can't sail.
You don't.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, even get on a commercial flight.
Oh.
You can't fly first class and fly to Iceland.
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh.
So ridiculous.
No.
You know they don't believe the science they're talking about, that they expect us to be saddled with, but it doesn't apply to them at all because I'm important. I'm the one who negotiated the Paris Accord, which is completely meaningless, of course, but it's very symbolic, and I negotiated that. And then I brought President Xi from China.
You mean the same president that has a country that's making coal-fired power plants
every week
to the
yes.
the equal, I believe, the same amount that we have in the U.S. That's what they're making new.
Yes.
Now that president,
that president.
Okay.
Right. Look, I can't sail across the ocean. I have to fly.
I'm giving my life to this.
I'm getting things done.
I won't be put on the defensive.
God, that's just the hypocrisy and egomania is just staggering.
I'm jealous of his $10,000 suits too.
Yeah, he does have nice suits. He does.
The man does have nice suits, man.
Yeah. Teresa laid this out for me this morning. I don't know how to put together an outfit like this, but Teresa bought this for me. Because of myself, I have no independent wealth. That all comes from my wife, Teresa. By the way, I'd like you to say it that way, too, because it sounds even more elitist than Teresa does.
Sure does.
So please call her Teresa. I don't know. I mean, private jets. The estimate is that private jets emit 40 times as much carbon as a commercial flight. Now, nobody's asking John Kerry to sail across the ocean, on wind power. But get on a commercial flight. If you believe the things you say that you're trying to hold the rest of us to, you seriously, you don't conduct yourself that way. You really don't.
But to get things done.
He has to. Right, that's right.
Got to use this because I've got to get in front of people to save the planet.
Plus, I've been offsetting my carbon output. So I've planted a couple of trees that made up for this private jet travel.
I would like to know what his offsetting is.
So would I. And
what is his offsetting?
That's a bogus bullcrap argument anyway.
It sure is.
You're not offsetting anything. Shut up.
I had the gardeners put in new bush, new shrubbery.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that offset your private jet travel. And he's completely unapologetic, and he won't be put on the defensive. How great would it be if Donald Trump said that and then watch them just have a conniption? Yeah, I won't be put on the defensive on any of that.
We're done.
We're done here. And the thing is, the media lets them get away with it.
Oh, yes.
They would not allow Donald Trump or anybody on the right to get away with similar statements like, I'll not be put on the defensive. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I mean, if one of the press secretaries for Donald Trump had screwed up just where the Olympics is, it would have.
Can you imagine?
We
wouldn't hear the end of it. How stupid they are.
Yes.
We never hear the end of it. Are you kidding me? We've got a White House spokesperson who doesn't know where Tokyo is.
Right.
Let's play that. Now here's Jen Psaki on the Olympics.
Can you said that you will be checking with the NSC and the president about the Summer Olympics, I believe. Can you tell us, does he think at this point that it is safe for the U.S. team to go to Tokyo?
Well, I know there's been some reporting on this. We're not currently talking about changing our posture or our plans as it relates to the Beijing Olympics. We consult, of course, closely with allies and
she
partners
told you it was
at all
Tokyo.
levels to define our common concerns and establish a shared approach. But there's no discussion underway of a change in our plans from the United States at this point in time.
Can I just follow up very quickly on the Olympics? You said Beijing. I'm asking about Tokyo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Beijing happened, what,
Olympics
13 years ago?
There's a lot of Olympic questions going on. Are there? Are there?
Again, nothing has changed about our plans. I would send you to the USOC to discuss
circle
anything
back.
further
I'll
on plans for
circle
athletes.
back on that with the.
She's going out of her way not to say that now, too, man.
She is. We're in her head now.
Really hard for her.
We're already in her head.
Absolutely, 100%.
So
but there's a lot of Olympic questions going on.
Are there really?
What are you talking about? There's a lot of Olympic questions. Yeah, you didn't even know what the hell she was talking about.
Hey, who's our contestant this year? It is this year in the javelin throw. Who's the American rep? I mean, are those the other Olympic questions she's getting? And she's just too confused now. So she thought it was the Beijing Games. When did the Beijing? Was it 2008 or 2012?
Now,
So it's been a long time ago. Yeah. But that's great. And again, if that's Sarah Huckabee Sanders, they're persecuting her from now until the end of time.
Kayleigh McEnerney is the dumbest blonde on the planet,
right?
For not knowing that. But instead, and the report, like I said, the reporter bailers. You said Beijing. You really meant Tokyo, right? And there's a lot of Olympic talk going on right now. Of course I meant Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for bailing me out on that.
Right.
And she doesn't even seem to be grateful.
Right. She doesn't even say, oh, that's right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Wow. Well, that's where we are. That's what we're going to have to get used to for the next 2 years at least.
Oh, I bet she doesn't stick around long, though. Right? She's gonna have to go.
She doesn't seem to have the temperament.
She's gonna have to go away.
Yeah.
Right.
And she was bad when she was the State Department spokesperson. She was really bad. And they didn't show very many clips of State Department press conferences because nobody cares.
Well.
So maybe people just didn't realize how bad she is. But we saw some of them because there was that one guy in the front row who challenged her
all the time
once in a while. And it was always fun.
Because at least that guy was making the State Department press conferences worthwhile.
Right. Right.
And he made it so worthwhile that we can't even remember his name. But
we remember that he did it.
Yes, thank you.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Also, let me tell you about Pluto TV. 2021, new year with a new president, new strains of COVID, new lockdowns. And Blaze TV is here to get you through all of it. While the world keeps getting crazier, we're devoted to bringing you the truth no matter the cost. And now there's more ways to watch this show than ever before. You can subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube. You check out the podcast, of course, on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for Pat Gray Unleashed. You can watch Pluto TV's 24-hour limited live stream on channel 238 or become a member at Blaze TV and get access to the entire Blaze TV catalog, all the exclusive content, and the ability to watch whenever and wherever you want. But if you didn't know about Pluto TV, you should check that out. Channel 238. Pretty awesome. 888-900-3393. Also, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets here from John Polk. How did we become a police state over face masks? Yesterday, I took a train from Portland to Seattle, which I do every month. This trip, though, Homeland Police were on the train. 2 officers stood at each end of the car. Yeah, making sure people had their mask in place.
Were they dragging people off that weren't wearing a mask?
No, but it's fascinating that now we're stationing federal officers to make sure we're wearing a stupid mask.
It's for our safety. What's good, though, is that the new Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, will be expanding this. You can count on that.
Yeah.
You can count on it.
Oh, I am counting on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I was incredible. Do you know he's got 55,000 employees to the transportation, that he's now going to oversee with a $90 billion budget.
Well, as mayor of South Bend, Indiana, I'm sure he's really prepared for that.
Well, I'd like to know
prepared.
if we have a listener or listeners in South Bend, I'd like to know how his Smart Streets revitalization program in downtown South Bend worked out. I would love to know how that worked out, because that's his claim to fame as far as transportation.
Yeah. Well, he also fixed some sidewalks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that may have been part of the revitalization.
No, I
of
think
downtown.
it was. I do believe it was, actually. Yes. From Non-Binary George and Cancel Culture Club, Democrats in 1961 ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Democrats in 2020, your country has to do it all for you because you can't do it for yourself.
Oh, no way.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Moo Points tweets, those terms and conditions are written in metric, so nobody knows what they mean. Yeah, the ones nobody reads anyway. Yeah. Comrade Snoobage reporting for duty, Doodie. See what they did there. I'm convinced Fauci keeps telling people not to hang out together because he has no friends and nobody wants to spend time with him. So he's just looking for company in the misery department. Okay.
All right.
Intensive porpoises for all. I'm guessing Fauci has already lived his life for the most part, so he's spending his last years screwing up ours. And Panther Blue. Wonder if the NFL or NBA will have a problem with the cities that don't allow restaurants to show games, since that's probably what's left of their ratings. Yeah, the only people watching their games now are watching at restaurants. That wouldn't surprise me.
No, it wouldn't.
They have taken a serious hit. And you would think in this pandemic era where you can't go that many places, there's not that much to do, you would have thought their ratings would go up, right? Through the roof. You've got a captive audience. We have to stay in our homes. What else are you going to do but watch TV? So that was not the case. The opposite actually happened. So I think, their viewership is a real concern for them.
Absolutely. I love the there was some sort of joke picture of the WNBA playing a game with no fans, and the caption was, "How can the WNBA's audience remain the same, and the rest of us have to struggle?" It was really something like that. It was really funny.
That's good.
It was really funny
and true,
and absolutely
and
true,
very very true. We were talking about Jen Psaki and her lack of knowledge about where Tokyo is, or Beijing, or where the games are.
There's so much Olympic talk.
Yeah, there's too much, or way too much. People are asking her about athletes and gold medals, and when does this event start? And I mean, how can she keep it all straight?
She can't.
It's been brought to our attention that she also, before she was press secretary, so this is, way back, but she tweeted out a gay slur at Republican Lindsey Graham. Now, see if this rings a bell to you. Here's what she tweeted out to him. Only in 2020 does Lady G, meaning that Lindsey Graham is, I don't know, effeminate, gay. What are you calling him there? You're calling him a woman.
Absolutely.
Only in 2020 does Lady G get to push a bunch of debunked conspiracy theories while questioning Sally Yates. Huh.
Wow.
Isn't that fascinating? These are the people. So you're doing homophobic slurs directed at Lindsey Graham? I do have to admit, though, that I personally have ranted about these tweets that show up in people's distant past. Like when you were 17 or whatever. And this one was so long ago. How old were you last August? 2020. August of 2020. Was there even a spoken language back then?
Well, there was.
There was?
She was tweeting it.
Okay. Because I thought it was mostly just grunted squeaks, and maybe some miming to communicate.
So it's possible that no one knew what she was saying because it wasn't a grunt or a miming.
Also, we were really busy being chased by velociraptors.
Yeah.
It's so busy doing that you couldn't keep track of things you post on Twitter.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that we're just, I get it. It was just a joke and she's trying to be funny.
No, I'm sorry. No.
But
I'm not giving her any of
today's-
that slack. I'm not going to cut her that slack. They don't do that for us.
No, they don't.
If that was us saying,
Oh.
throwing out some slur that seems
Oh,
homophobic,
my gosh.
you'd be done. You're out of
You're
your
over.
job. You certainly wouldn't be appointed to be the White House press secretary.
Right.
I'll tell you that right now.
No way.
People
no
have
way.
been
You're
canceled
making
for far less than that.
You're making a slam on a U.S. senator?
Right. You're essentially calling him gay.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. I don't want you to get the wrong impression.
Well, but
It's just that
Lindsay isn't out of the closet if he is. So
Lindsay
let
has
it
said
go.
multiple times he is not gay, and yet she's
I
throwing
don't think
that
he's
around.
ever. I don't think he's ever denied it.
I think he has. Has he not?
I seriously, I don't know.
I mean, he's a single man of what, 60 something? How old is Lindsey Graham? Look that
He's
up real
gotta
quick.
be.
And
Lindsay's got to be at least 60.
I don't think he's ever been married, but
right?
he just hasn't found the right gal yet.
Right, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Lindsey Graham, 65.
65. Yeah. Okay. But these Democrats get away with whatever they want. I mean, they can throw out homophobic
Oh
slurs.
my gosh, yes.
They can drag you through the mud. Just doesn't matter. But I'm just glad that none of that stuff that Democrats do. I'm so relieved that doesn't violate Twitter's incredible policy guidelines. I'm really thankful of that because you don't want any of them canceled, right? We always want to be kept up to date by the Democrats. All right, let me tell you about a fantastic treat that would be such a great gift for somebody in your life or yourself. Frankly, I'm thinking about giving this to, me, just because it's Thursday. Brooker's Founding Flavors ice cream. This is the best stuff on earth. It's just the best ice cream there is.
Good idea.
Doesn't it? Yeah. This isn't like the artificially flavored, pumped full of air junk that you buy at the grocery store. Brooker's ice cream is made with the highest level of creaminess and highest quality of ingredients, like real vanillas from around the world and really good chocolate. All of this is high quality stuff. Then it's hand packed, so it's really dense and delicious. Now, if you go to the store, if you go to their parlor in Utah, you'll find a really cool, like, colonial tavern from 1776 with period decor and everybody dressed in the colonial times apparel. But you don't have to live there and go there in order to enjoy this ice cream anymore.
Which is wonderful.
Sure is. So check it out for yourself. Brooker's website. Go there, brookersicecream.com. They've got a ton of amazing flavors, and they can deliver it right to your house. For instance, the Marie Antoinette Let Them Eat Red Velvet Cake. It'd be the perfect gift for Valentine's, for that somebody special in your life. brookersicecream.com, BROOKERS, icecream.com. And click on the Ship Nationwide tab.
What's kind of cool about that is that when you go to the Ship Nationwide tab, then you pick whatever your order is, and then you can pick a day for it to be delivered. So you can have it delivered,
on Valentine's.
On Valentine's Day. Now, if you're going to do that, which is wonderful, you're going to want to get your order in like right now.
You got to do it before Wednesday.
I mean, there's only, they give and they give and they give.
Right.
But after midday on next Wednesday, you can still get the ice cream delivered.
Right. It just may not come for Valentine's. Right. Brookersicecream.com and click on the Ship Nationwide tab.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, what are your plans for the Super Bowl? Since you can't have a watch party, you can't invite anybody over to your house. Since it's not America anymore and you can't do what you want anymore, you don't have that freedom. What are you going to do?
The cars parked in front of my house are not in my house.
They're not. Those people went somewhere else.
No,
yeah.
I don't know who they belong to.
Because you are excited about the Super Bowl.
I am.
Right?
I'm fired up. Yeah,
Tampa Bay.
I would love
your team
to be back home in Tampa right now. I mean, it's got to be just a huge amount of fun. But yeah, I'm excited. Absolutely, it's going to be nice to see Tom Brady win another Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl for Tampa Bay, win a Super Bowl for Tampa Bay in Tampa, the first team to do it, because he needs that feather in his hat. He doesn't necessarily need the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, I'm talking about, but he needs that feather in his hat, being the only team and quarterback to win in his home stadium.
Right, because that's never happened before.
Right. That's a good feather to take from that Chiefs headdress and stick in the Tom Brady hat.
Yeah. Did you also see that the NFL said you can't fire the cannon because we don't want this to be like a home game? It is a home game.
Right.
I mean, you can pretend all you want that it isn't, but it is.
Well, we want to continue the aura of neutrality on the field. We're playing on a neutral field.
You're playing on the field the Bucks always play on when they play at home.
I tell you what, no problem. I mean, I'll give them the cannon can't fire during the game, but if they win, I want that bad boy firing.
That would be fun, actually. Meanwhile, Tom Brady appeared in a Zoom press conference to talk about Sunday's Super Bowl. The media turned the event into an ambush on Brady over his past friendship. Get this. This guy has the nerve to like Donald Trump.
Well, at one point, he had a hat hanging up in his locker.
He did, and you know what that hat said? Make America great again.
Oh, my gosh.
Might as well have said, kill all minorities. That's what it might as well have said.
I mean, he's moved out of the state that he was in at the time.
Right.
They've run him off.
Yeah, and he lost his hat, I think, in the move.
He did. He did lose his hat. Same way he lost his cell phone. Just stepped on it and moved on.
And this, the author of this, USA Today's Nancy Armour, said that he actually, in 2015, displayed a Make America Great Again hat. And he said Trump had done, quote, amazing things, unquote. Well, that's just like, he's like Adolf Hitler.
Sure.
Right?
It's gotta be.
Adolf Hitler, Joe Stalin, and Chairman Mao all rolled into one, this guy. She also tried to get a reaction from Brady on Shannon Sharp's claim on Fox Sports, The Undisputed Show, that Brady would have endured far more criticism for the MAGA hat if he were black.
If he wasn't white.
Yeah. Right.
They really tried to make
what
that
it is?
a racist thing.
White privilege.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's what Shannon Sharp was saying.
Tom Brady has white privilege. It's pretty obvious that if Tom Brady were black, he'd be making about $20,000 a year, about $20,000 a year,
if that.
Not the $25 million he currently makes. He'd be making $25,000, 25, somewhere in there, and nobody would even know his name. If you have a black quarterback with the stats that Tom Brady has, they'd laugh him out of the league.
Right.
It's all white privilege. He's done nothing. What has he done, this guy? What's he done?
Is the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs
ridiculous?
Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, he just signed a new deal for 10 years for $8 billion.
10 years, $8 billion?
I think it was something like that with Kansas City. I mean,
right.
It was a monstrous deal, right? I mean, I forget the total amount. But if he was a black guy, there's no way he signs that deal. They don't let that deal happen.
He is a black guy.
Wait, what?
So yeah. Okay, here's the details on Mahomes' contract. Yeah, here's his white privilege. Here's a white privilege for a black guy. Patrick Mahomes signed a record-breaking 10-year deal with the Chiefs.
$8 billion.
On Monday. $503 million.
Yeah, and
$503 million. That's $50 million a year.
I think half of it is guaranteed, right? I mean, there's at least $100 million of it is maybe at least $100 million of it is guaranteed, if I remember.
Well, let's see. I'm looking because
they made. I mean, in that contract, he's not supposed to play. Pick up basketball, and he's not supposed to do stuff that would get him injured outside of playing football. Because he even joked about putting in a basketball court in his new house that he's building in Kansas City. I don't know how he's affording it. And he talked about don't tell the owner that I'm putting in that basketball court. That's for the kids or my friends. I won't be playing on it.
It's not all guaranteed, according
No.
to this.
No. That's what I'm saying. I think it was like 100 million of it was guaranteed, and that's not bad. So if he happens to, I don't know, have a concussion and unable to play ever again, I don't know that he'll be able to get by on 100 million.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
You could probably struggle through right at the trailer park with 100 million.
Okay, the guarantee is 140 million.
I apologize.
He's only guaranteed $140 million. But get this, that's only an average. You break it down over the 10 years, 503 million sounds like a lot. Okay, but
it does. It does sound like a lot.
Like an exorbitant salary. But it's really, when you break it down, it's only 50.3 million per year. Okay?
And then guaranteed is not even that.
Right. Not all of it is guaranteed. Only 14 million a year is guaranteed.
Right.
Try to get by on that.
You can't.
You can't.
And again, white privilege.
Again, thank you. Yes.
White privilege.
Does he have mixed heritage? He does, right?
I really don't know. I really don't. I
don't know.
All this talk about all this stuff, and I never think about it unless I'm reading a story telling me I'm supposed to think about it. Because it's nothing. I don't think about it ever. I just don't.
And you shouldn't. I mean, at least that's the old theory, right? You shouldn't see color. You should see
I don't care.
I know. I don't either. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393.
You're
also
so welcome.
At Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I'm not
nice
talking
of
to
you.
you.
I mean,
Obviously not
I
talking to you.
appreciate it.
No one could ever be glad that you're wherever you are.
Why?
I'll let you figure that one out. Let's see. We got some tweets here from Offsetting Carbon Chasm. Offsetting Carbon Chasm. I shouted out across that offsetting carbon chasm. I shouted, I'm Israel. That's what I shouted.
I was never. Well, I've been disappointed many times in my life, but I was disappointed one other time in my life when I actually heard the original audio of John Kerry.
Why?
Because I was so happy. I was like, I get to hear the actual audio of what Pat has done with John Kerry, and I was just disappointed.
It was this.
Shouted out across that chasm. I'm Yisrael. Hi, Israel lives.
Just as I say it.
Right, exactly like you said.
Shout out across that chasm. I'm Israel. That's what I said. I mean, that's what I meant when I shouted it.
Yes.
Across that chasm.
I appreciate your version much better after I heard the original.
It's perhaps a tad exaggerated. Perhaps. All right. Tweet from Rat's Anus. How many people can say that during the course of a day?
I don't know.
Probably not that many. I just got a tweet from Rat's Anus. Dems can't be racist, homophobic, fascist, xenophobic, or wrong. The fact that you think they can be shows just how evil and ignorant you are.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Dad Bod Blog. I can't imagine how upset Pat is that COVID means he can't host a Super Bowl party. This was the year he was going to invite Keith. Dang it.
Is that true, though?
It is true, yeah.
It is?
Yeah, I was going to see if we could find a back way that he could find some roads, and I was going to try to lead him back to my house. But no, now I can't. Can't do it, so. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't even read the tweet from Offsetting Carbon Chasm. Is Jen Psaki's mix-up of Beijing and Tokyo a racist dog whistle, saying that they all look alike?
Right?
What a great point. Yeah, pretty sure the answer is yes. Me too. I think that is exactly right. Government is not my sugar daddy tweets. I'm going to have a Super Bowl party in the den and a Beijing Olympics party on the deck outside. All right, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Make sure you're all wearing masks, though, regardless.
And socially distanced.
Thank you.
I don't want to.
Very important.
Close cheering.
No.
Anything like that.
No. Well, you'll kill people. Plain and simple. You'll kill people.
And if a neighbor sees you, you'll be thrown in jail. And I don't want that to happen for you.
No, that would not be a happy Super Bowl
jail's
Sunday.
Not fun.
And nobody knows that better than Jeff Fisher.
Thank you.
All right. As the deadliest month of the coronavirus pandemic in the U.S. came to an end, the nation is seeing signs of progress. They're actually admitting to it now. And why? Because Joe Biden's in office. That's why. The plummeting rates of COVID-19 and hospitalizations are just baffling experts. They don't even know why really this is happening, because it's not the vaccine. It's too soon for the vaccine to have kicked in to this extent. But daily, tell us why.
I'll tell you why.
All right, go ahead.
My gosh, you don't know why?
Why? Joe Biden?
Thank you. You did know. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I did know.
His administration and what he's done.
already killed this virus.
It's over.
That's how wonderful he is. That's how good he is. Daily cases, though, have dropped 45% since the peak on January 11th. There were 131,000 new cases reported yesterday. Hospitalizations have fallen 26% since they peaked on January 12th. 44 states are seeing a decline in cases, according to Johns Hopkins. Just Alabama, Louisiana, Montana, New Jersey, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania are on the upswing. Also, as the country headed into February, COVID-19 hospitalizations fell below 100,000 for the first time in 2 months. This is all great.
Yeah.
It's all great. And again, they can report it because Joe Biden.
Yeah.
That's all. Because Joe Biden. So it'll be interesting to see how fast this virus becomes not a big deal. Don't blow this out of proportion.
Less than 100 days. I'm guessing less than 100 days now from now. Because then at the end of Joe Biden's 100 days, we will have all been wearing masks mandated by him.
Yes.
The vaccine rollout will have finally been done correctly.
Yes.
And we have a new way of detailing who is contagious and who isn't contagious and who has it and who doesn't.
And remember the other thing that happened on Inauguration Day? The WHO, the World Health Organization, decided that they were going to change the definition of a positive test. You had to have a higher level
with
of the virus.
The cycle threshold value. Yes. And we already have places. There were places around the country that have already started using that way to document who has it. So those numbers are going to go down, and it's going to be because of him.
Right. They set the whole stage.
Sure did.
For this to happen on day one. And the WHO worked in
absolutely cahoots,
or there was another C word that I was thinking of that's just gone. It's just gone. Conjunction. That worked in conjunction.
Whatever, cahoots.
With the Biden administration. It's
well, absolutely, because Trump,
and you knew that was going to happen, but then to actually see the proof of it is still kind of amazing.
I know.
Wow. Man. Just unbelievable. All right. 888-900-3393. I want to show you something really incredible, though. I saw this story yesterday, and now it's kind of exploding. There was a guy who was badly burned. He was only 20 years old at the time, and he got into a terrible car accident, and his car caught on fire. He was burned really badly all over his body. And so he was like unrecognizable from before the accident.
Yeah.
And they just recently, I think 6 months ago, did a hands and face transplant on him.
Yeah.
They transplanted somebody else's face onto him, and also they had to amputate what was left of his hands because they weren't working right. And so they also transplanted somebody else's hands onto the end of his arms. Unbelievable.
Incredible, isn't it?
Look at this report on this guy.
Joe DeMeo is having to relearn basic everyday tasks.
Pinch, small stuff, big stuff. Learn to squeeze, lift some weights.
Pause it for just a second.
Cardio.
As you watch this, keep in mind, these are somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
So they have reattached it to the point where they're workable now. All of the connections you have to make that possible, it's staggering to think of.
I know.
This is really something. All right, go ahead.
Walking squats. A lot of fine motor stuff.
DeMeo was badly burned in a car crash in 2018.
That handsome guy.
He spent months in a medically induced coma and underwent 20 reconstructive surgeries. But he wasn't able to regain the full use of his hands or his vision.
They had to amputate the tips of my fingers, and my face was burned. And I had like little slits in my eyes, so it was like looking through like a chain fence.
A team led by Dr. Eduardo Rodriguez at NYU Langone Health started preparing for a rare face and double hand transplant. Doctors estimated they had a 6% chance of finding a match. They also wanted the same gender and skin tone. The pandemic created additional challenges. Organ donations had dropped and medical staff was diverted to work in COVID-19 wards. But in August, the team
Pause it for a
found
second.
their match.
It's amazing because the COVID-19 made donations of organs and whatever drop. People weren't donating the organs. When have you ever put yourself down as a face organ donor? I didn't even know you could. Yeah, go ahead and take my face off and give it to somebody else. And my hands while you're at it. Go ahead. Yeah, you can take both those.
When you donate
Weird.
for that, I mean, it's everything, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
heart, lungs, everything inside and outside?
And because I remember when my oldest son's mother was working in an emergency room, and they wanted to talk to a family who had lost their daughter, their young daughter, had passed away in a car accident, and they were all ready to say that people could use her parts.
Oh.
And then they made a point of saying, well, and we're gonna her eyes are gonna go to Denver or wherever it was. And then they stopped everything. They said no, they wouldn't do it because the eyes were so much to the child, to them. You know what I mean? So it's all the parts. I mean, I just remember that it's, you have to be willing to let it go.
All or nothing.
I maybe not. Maybe you take what you can.
Yeah.
Now in today's world, especially, I mean, my gosh, in today's world, you probably just take what you can, right?
Yeah.
If it's working.
All right, let's see the rest of this.
There's a lot of pride that goes into this because we accomplish all of this on what anybody from the outside would consider strain.
Simultaneous hand-face transplants have only been tried twice before.
Jeez.
The last one was in 2011 on a woman who was mauled by a chimpanzee.
I remember that story.
Transplanted hands ultimately had to be removed.
Open your eyes real wide, close real tight.
The medical community has been watching DeMeo's case closely.
This already is a success. The fact that patient 6 months later is starting to use the hands and is doing well is tremendous success, and first of its kind in history.
Is that different to your left hand? No, I feel this side.
DeMeo's surgery lasted 23 hours, and after months of intensive rehabilitation, he's slowly gaining his independence.
That's perfect. That's a good grip.
I have a lot of motivation, a lot of patience, and you gotta stay strong to everything. You can't really give up.
Now, eventually.
Well, see, that's the thing. Pause this for a second. That's the thing. We were so concerned about the hands and how cool it was to get all of that connected on the hands, but the face too. I mean, they're really strong. I mean, your face movements and the muscles. That's a huge deal. And you can see how he's he's struggling in the rehab with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow. That's I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's just amazing.
Now, eventually, I've been noticing in all pictures that the swelling continues to come down. Eventually, I want to do a little bit of work here.
His doctors have been encouraged by his progress.
Yeah.
The 22-year-old will need to be closely monitored and on medications for the rest of his life to avoid rejecting his new face and hands.
It's not that someone has done this many times before and we have a kind of a schedule, a recipe to follow.
As for DeMeo, each little movement shows how far he's come.
Incredible. And how far technology has come.
Boy, no kidding.
Medicine. That's incredible. So really something what they can do for you now. If you've had a serious, it must be really weird to look in the mirror for this guy and see somebody else's face on your head. Wouldn't that be, that must be really strange.
I've got Snapchat. I do that all the time. I've got the app on Snapchat. I'm fine.
Yeah, maybe because of Snapchat, it's not that big a deal. No, yeah, don't worry about it. All right. Well, thank you, Jeffy, for that perspective. I'm sure it's fine.
Put your wine in.
I'm sure it's fine. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you love your dog, you want your dog to get the best, right? The best of everything that you can possibly give him or her. And the best supplement for dogs to put on their food so that they get the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that they need, it's Rough Greens. Most dog food, the dry kibble stuff that you put in their bowl, that's all dead. It's dead food. They sterilize it, and that kills all the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So it fills them up, but it just doesn't contribute to their health. Rough Greens isn't a dog food. It's a supplement that you sprinkle on the food, and they love the taste of this stuff. Don't tell them it's also good for them. Shh. That'll be our little secret. So when I started giving Rough Greens to my dog, I mean, she's getting up there a little bit. She's like 8 now, 8 or 9, and we're slowing down a little bit. She is puppy-like again. She's, playing fetch and going for her dog toys and brings them to you the second you get in the door. She used to do.
It's just so darn cute.
Just so adorable. Get the Rough Greens Jumpstart Bag today, just $14.95. Start the process of getting your dog happier and healthier. If you want to see your dog thrive again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFFgreens.com/blaze. You know what I did yesterday? I toured our new kitchen facility yesterday. It's actually completed now for the cookies, for Kexi cookies. Pretty much completed. Yeah, it took an investment of literally every penny I have to my name. Though? So I really hope and pray it works. I hope this is going to be successful, but nationwide delivery is almost here. Nice. For everybody who's been asking us. When are you going to send to California? When are you going to mail to Maine? It's happening within days.
Nice.
We're waiting for our giant professional baking oven to arrive from Chicago, and then it's full speed ahead.
So
when that happens,
the place in Chicago, is that like the only place that these ovens are made now in the U.S.? Or is there like only 2 places? I'm asking. I'm not being funny. Is there like 2 places in the country that make them, and this was the best place to get it, or whatever? I mean,
well, since delivery of this thing is $5,000.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's coming on a separate trailer.
You can best believe that we looked around the DFW for one.
But still, they've got it. It's going to have to be delivered on a separate trailer. And,
yeah.
You probably have to,
Yeah.
I understand I get the process in my head, but it seems like, again, there wasn't one in Fort Worth.
No, there wasn't one. Not that we needed, not the kind we needed. So when it gets here, though, we'll be able to make as many cookies in an hour than it takes us all day to right now. Takes all day. It'll take an hour.
That seems better.
That seems better, doesn't it?
It does seem better.
My wife thinks it seems better, too. So
really?
So, yeah, we're going to do it. And I got to tell you, these hot chocolate cookies, have you had that yet?
No.
The hot chocolate cookie is just unbelievable.
I have not had that.
She keeps inventing these new things, and every time it's like, okay, now that's my new favorite.
Okay, well, maybe an idea would be to stick with the ones that she knows are really good and make more of those instead of wumping around making
she's
cookies.
She's being too creative. I'm like, stop
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, relax.
You made us buy a giant oven. How about you just make cookies?
Right?
Make the caramel ones and zip it.
If you'd like to check it out, Kexi Cookies, KEKSI cookies.com.
KEKSI.com.
It means cookie in Finnish. My son did his church mission in Finland, and so he's the president of the company, and wanted to do something that kind of gave a tip of the hat to Finland. So that's what we did.
I mean,
even though nobody knows how to spell Keksi, that's still what we did.
Does it say on the logo Keksi, cookie and Finn?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't?
No, it doesn't. We don't explain the name on every single individual package. No.
What the heck is that thing?
All right. Golden Globe nominations came out yesterday. Yeah. And there were some surprises among them. I guess Spike Lee was snubbed.
Whatever.
Regina King was snubbed.
She's on there.
Is she?
Yeah, she got... I saw her name on the list.
They totally ignored Regina King's One Night in Miami for Best Picture. For Best Picture. Okay. I've never even heard of One Night in... I'll bet there's a lot of movies that people have never heard of because the theaters have been closed for a year.
I know, but these are up on Amazon and Netflix.
And all of that.
Yeah.
So if you've seen any of them, it's likely that you saw them on Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah.
But the nominees for Best Drama this year, The Father... Mank, M-A-N-K, Mank. You ever heard of that? I've never heard of it. Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, and the Trial of the Chicago 7. Wow, I don't think I've heard of any of them. Let
Motion picture dramas.
Seen them.
Yeah, no.
Huh. Original score: Midnight Sky, Tenet. Did you see Tenet?
Yeah, not yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
You should watch it. It's fascinating. I like it. But it is complex.
Now, wait a second.
It's really complicated.
So you've watched it again?
Yes, I've watched it twice.
Okay. Because
I slept through the first showing.
Correct. That's what.
Yeah. Slept through the first showing, so I had no idea.
Okay.
I watched the second showing, and I have no idea. But it was cool. I mean, it's amazing how they did that movie. It's fascinating. So, The Midnight Sky, Tenet, News of the World, Mank, and Soul are the nominees for Best Original Score.
Yeah.
Best Director, you probably have never heard of any of these people. Actor in a Drama.
Well, Regina King is in that. She didn't get snubbed. Regina King, One Night in Miami.
No, she got snubbed for Best Picture, though.
We're giving Best Directors. Zip it.
Yeah, that's not a bad honor. I mean, if she gets it. But just being nominated is such an honor.
It's just being
nominated.
Is it?
Yeah, being nominated. Such an honor.
She's already got a 10-minute speech ready to go.
For TV, the best TV series in the drama category, The Crown.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of that. I liked it a lot, but then they changed people on me, and I wasn't as interested. Lovecraft Country. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Actually got nominated for Best TV Series.
I don't think it deserves that, but it's okay.
I don't know. The second season was pretty solid, especially the end of it.
Yeah, the second season.
Ozark, which you love, right?
Tremendous.
You've talked about Ozark.
Yeah,
and Ratchet.
Yeah, that was okay.
That's Nurse Ratchet,
yeah,
right?
That was okay.
Huh.
That's on Netflix, I think, yeah.
I'll bet you The Crown wins. The Crown will win that. Even though I'd love to see The Mandalorian win, that'd just be fun. Because that's unlike these stuffed shirt elitists to nominate a show like that. Well, it's a Star Wars thing. I'm not going to nominate. I'm not voting for anything. Star Wars. People actually like that film, so I'm not going to vote for it.
Bateman should win for Ozark, though. I mean, you're right. They'll probably go to The Crown.
Mm-hmm.
But Bateman should win for Ozark.
He is a great actor.
And, I mean, this is his show. He directs and produces it and writes it. I mean, it's his deal. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's the all-seeing, all-knowing guru of this. Yeah.
Wow. Best TV series, musical, or comedy? Emily in Paris, which I don't know. The Flight Attendant, don't know.
That was fun.
The
Flight Attendant was fun.
Can you even say the name of that show on radio? Schitt's Creek?
Sure.
Well, I did.
It's the show.
Sort of did.
But this is they had their final year and everybody's all in love with it. And it's all over.
Yeah. And Ted Lasso also got in there. But really, some pretty obscure stuff made the list, and maybe it's only obscure because I didn't watch it. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people love these movies.
That is obscure.
All right. More Pat Gray Unleashed. Next. 888-900-3393. Also got some tweets here from Pat Unleashed. Data warning tweets. Could it be that the Mayans accidentally transposed the date for the end of the world? Instead of being 2012, it's actually 2021. Maybe.
Yes, it's very possible.
President-elect Jeff L. Deuterino Lebowski tweets, here's a slogan, Kexi cookies, bake back better.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
From Justin Sander, my youngest daughter imitating Jeffy saying, give me the ice cream for the Brooker's ice cream ad is more disturbing than one would have expected.
Just give me the ice cream.
Just give me the ice cream, okay? First of all.
You're welcome.
First of all. My butt cough, okay? Tweets, my boys said Tenet was the best confusing mind twister they've ever seen. They said you need to watch it multiple times. There's no doubt about that. It is, and they tried to make it confusing. They wanted it to be complex, and it is. Jimmy Dimples, last movie I've seen new was Ralph Breaks the Internet in the theater. I'm just thankful I was able to find Gone with the Wind on DVD in my store before it gets canceled, and it might, because there's some, aren't there like some politically incorrect things there since it takes place during the Civil War.
It's still up, but it's the disclaimers that go up before you have to sit through disclaimers before you watch it.
Really?
Yeah. Because the times were different and the language is different, and you have to be able to.
Despite all of that, we're holding them to the standard of today.
That's correct.
Even though it happened yesteryear.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
So that, right. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not matter. You know, the guy with the hands and face transplant, that kind of helps put things back into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, burned over like 100% of his body, disfigured like that. You've gone through 20 surgeries, and then they do this massive transplant that's only been done twice before in history.
Yeah.
And you're about to be the third recipient.
Right, the one lady they talked about how it was rejected.
Yeah, I remember that. One of her neighbors had a pet monkey.
Yeah.
And she came over to visit. And the pet monkey would ape crap on her.
The chimpanzee went ape crap?
He went ape crap on her.
Is that the headline?
And tore her face off, essentially. And so she got that transplant, too. And then the hands thing didn't work. You know, and then maybe that's because my hands are small. I know, but they're not yours. They are my own.
They're not.
And I will not be broken. And in his case, they're not his.
They're not. Not anymore.
Which leads us to the old bit that I did about hands when we called people and just recited those dumb song lyrics to them, hoping that somebody would get the fact that we're just reciting dumb song lyrics to you.
Hello?
Hi. I just wanted to let you know that my hands are small, I know. But they're not yours, they are my own. And I will not be broken.
Okay, this is a 7-Eleven store.
Right.
So what did you need?
I just needed to let you know that, my hands are small, I know. But they're not yours, they are my own. And I will not be broken. All right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. A little confused.
Just a tad.
Body Haven.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Body Haven.
Hi. I just wanted to call and let you know that my hands are small, I know, but they're not yours. They are my own.
What are you talking about?
And I will not be broken. I'm talking about my hands. They're small.
Do you have the right number?
Yeah, I think so. I was calling you to let you know that my hands are small. I know, but they're not yours.
I was calling you.
They are my own, and I will not be broken.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right.
No, I was calling you.
Somebody's got to catch on, right?
That's awesome.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Can I tell you something? My hands are small, I know. But they're not yours. They are my own. And I will not be broken. Okay?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. But I just wanted to share that with you. That my hands are small. I know, but they're not yours. They are my own. And I will not be broken.
What in the hell is the nature of this phone call?
I just wanted to share that with you.
Why?
Because it's something I feel strongly about.
And what would that be?
My hands are small. I know. But they're not yours. They are my own. And I will not be broken.
I'm hanging out because I'm extremely confused and bewildered.
All right. Aren't we all?
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think we're all pretty confused and bewildered, though, at this point.
You do not get those days back.
No, you don't. No, those days do not come back.
No, they do not.
All right. Interesting survey has found that support for a 2024 run by former President Donald Trump has cratered by 20 points just since December. What do you think is behind that?
I mean, the man has been crushed for 4 years.
Right, but
and continually crushed the last. I think it was the release of the Kraken that never happened.
It might be. Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
Possible.
I don't know what that poll
says. And then people
says,
kept hanging on.
Yes,
hanging on to the hope that they had something and they're going to make this happen, and we were promised something that never was delivered.
I don't want to burst your bubble or anything, but we're we're going to get a Kraken release tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. From who was that from?
Lindell.
Oh, Mike Lindell, right? My Pillow guy is going to release another Kraken. So I'm excited.
Right,
another one. I'm just going to buy wholeheartedly into it.
And look, anybody that has anybody in the last month for sure, but the last couple of months who has said anything against the election,
you're shut down immediately.
Election, you are.
Yeah, you're done.
Persona non grata.
I mean, they will suspend you. They will take you off Twitter.
Oh,
right?
I mean,
and Facebook.
You're lucky not to get a bullet to the head.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. New survey from Echelon Insights found only 45% of Republicans would like to see Donald Trump run for president in 2024. That's down from 65% in December. The poll also found a solid majority support for Trump's impeachment and removal. No
way.
From Republicans?
No.
And slightly higher support for banning him from ever running for federal office again. That can't be.
No way.
Come on. An action that can only be taken if Trump is convicted by the Senate, which is not going to happen.
No way. And they just okayed, they were trying to ban, what's her face? The senator.
Marjorie Greene.
Well, she already, they already said, okay, no problem. She's still on. They're not getting rid of her.
Right.
She's still on. And,
Democrats are trying, though.
And the other senator lady who they were saying that voted against Trump.
The other senator lady.
Yeah. No.
Lisa Murkowski?
No.
Liz Cheney?
Yes. Cheney.
Liz Cheney,
she voted for the impeachment, and they already said that they're not taking anything away from her.
Right.
So I mean,
yes.
we're gonna do that, but we're still against Trump running again. I find that hard to believe.
This is hard to believe. Overall, 57% of voters want to ban Trump for life. What? 57% of Americans want to ban him from running for office again?
No way.
Ever? Versus 53% who want him convicted in the Senate. That's also hard to believe.
It sure is.
30% of Republicans want him banned for life from running for office. Come on now.
No.
And 21% of Republicans want him convicted in the Senate after he's already gone. None of this makes any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Wow. That is crazy. Now, apparently, the poll also found Trump still leading the 2024 GOP primary race by 7 points against a generic field. but supposedly he loses by 15 points among college-educated Republicans without Trump in the field. Who do you think it is? Who had the most support for a 2024 run without Trump in the field?
Without Trump in the field.
Take a wild stab.
I don't know.
Mike Pence. No way does. No.
No.
Mike,
No.
I don't believe Mike Pence could win. So,
I don't either.
I mean, I don't have anything against Mike Pence.
No, he's a good guy, but he doesn't have the fire.
Yeah, he's not the guy that's going to set the world on fire and beat the Democrat and beat Joe Biden in 2024 or Kamala Harris in 2024. So without Trump in the field, Pence leads every other named candidate.
That's right now, though.
But he trails unsure by 9 points.
Because nobody knows who's.
Because nobody knows.
Who's going to be in front? Because there's a bunch of people that still could grab onto that.
Well, yes, you have your Kristi Noem, for instance. You got Nikki Haley, for instance.
DeSantis from Florida.
Ron DeSantis from Florida.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. He's a powerhouse now, man.
He's making a move now.
I know.
People are liking him. So
and they should.
And he was a big Trump supporter. So I don't think he's going to get hurt by any of that.
And he's let Donald Trump live in his state.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's almost like you're an American. and you've allowed somebody to live where they want to?
No.
Whoa, wow.
No.
Wow.
You are talking crazy talk now, my friend.
All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about Keeps. If you've noticed your hair is not quite as full as it used to.
Why are you looking at me?
Nah, no reason. No reason.
This is just like a lot of earlier times.
Yeah, is it? Yeah,
exactly
okay.
like that.
It's like a lot of earlier times when you were also bald, like yesterday and the day before. Okay. So let's talk about some options. You can go to the doctor and then to the pharmacy and spend all that money and go through all that hassle and put your mask on and off and all of that. Or you can try Keeps from the comfort and privacy of your own home and just relax. Go online, answer a couple of questions. Then you just post some pictures of your hair, and a licensed doctor will review all that information and then send you the right hair loss treatment for you and your situation. Just great. Shipped directly to your door, so you don't have to hassle with it at all. And we'll get you started with a special deal. When you go to keeps.com, keeps.com/Pat, you'll get 50% off your first order. 50% off. That's keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right. AOC, who was so frightened. She was so scared. The mob was coming for her directly.
Damage.
You know it. They were coming for her, and she was so affrighted that she hid in the bathroom. First of all, she hid in her office, I think. Then she hid in the
she was down,
bathroom.
and then she hid behind the door.
Yeah.
She said on her one post, she got
was
behind
scared.
the door and scared for her life.
Despite the fact that she wasn't even in the Capitol building. She wasn't even in the building.
No, but I mean, she was
unbelievable.
Scared.
There was no mob in the
Cannon building.
The Cannon building.
I know that's what
adjacent or
according,
next to
according to her, this is the latest manipulative take on the right. They are manipulating the fact that most people don't know the layout of the Capitol complex. We were all on the Capitol complex. The attack wasn't just on the dome.
Yes, it was.
The bombs Trump supporters planted surrounded our offices, too.
And they weren't surrounding the office.
No, they were not. And by the way, no one thought that it was an attack on the complex.
No.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry to disappoint you there, AOC.
Oh, she's despicable.
That is
despicable.
Unbelievable. No, you know what? No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's typical of her. No. I mean, are they beating this dead horse for all it's worth? They are going to drag this out forever.
And this morning, because of all of this, this morning I see where the the media, the big television network media, have brought out all kinds of assistants and interns that worked in the complex, trying to back up AOC that she was, we were all scared, except that they've already had other Congress people that were in the complex saying, no, we were fine.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything.
She's the worst. She is just absolutely despicable. But we're never going to hear the end of this Capitol building thing. They didn't care one iota about the attack on the Republicans at the baseball field, where the guy was actually shooting at them and hit one of them.
Yes.
And actually tried to kill 30 Republicans all at once. That they couldn't care less about.
Nope.
Jeez. But some windows were broken, and seriously, the police officer was killed. That is the one thing that they have that they keep harping on is the police officer was killed. And I don't know who did it. I mean, do they even have the person?
They're still struggling with
still don't know who did it. Could have been somebody on the left. I don't know. The other 4 deaths were all people who were Trump supporters. They're the ones who died. They didn't. I mean, 3 of them died of like heart attacks or strokes.
And they keep bringing up, I think 3 police officers have passed away because of the attack on the Capitol. So the one police officer died, during the attack, and
got hit with the fire extinguisher.
It's horrible, no question.
Really
but
bad.
The other 2 committed suicide. They have committed suicide. So it's just horrible that these guys have committed suicide, but they were part of that day. So they're tied into that.
Yeah. And to make it look as if the action was so much worse and it was all these Trump supporters killing people, which is not the case. It's not the case. And I'm tired of it. Because they couldn't care less about actual loss of human life. I mean, look at them on abortion. 63 million people have died from. Do they care about any of that? Nope.
Well,
not
they
one
care
iota.
About women's rights. The life of the mother.
Sure, they do. Sure, until somebody in the trans community steps forward, and then they don't care about women at all. Like, don't worry about it. Yeah, you can compete against these biological.
Oh
men.
yeah,
That's fine.
They want.
That's fine.
They want.
Don't worry about that.
They want their equal rights, 100%.
Yeah,
that doesn't matter, right? There's no, hey, you can start your own league. Hey, you trans people can race against each other.
No, we want them to compete against women.
Right.
It's crazy.
None of that. It's got you.
You
think you're a woman? Okay.
It's a crazy world.
Come on in.
And
no problem.
To accentuate just how crazy it is, I don't know this guy, but I guess he's a pretty big star in country music. Morgan Wallen. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh,
don't you love country music?
Morgan Wallen and me are
tight.
Yeah,
you're tight?
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I'm not a big...
You're not a country guy?
I don't. Not really.
Corby, do you know Morgan Wallen? Anybody? No? Hello? Anyone?
Yeah, I know him. I love him.
Okay, that guy in the back there.
I mean, he's a pretty big star now, right?
Well,
I mean,
listen to the first.
He's been on the rise.
Here's the first line. One of the biggest names in country music.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Will not have his songs played on major chains of radio stations and streaming platforms after he was heard saying a racial slur.
Oh, no.
Morgan Wallen, whose Dangerous album has remained on top of the Billboard chart for 3 straight weeks, said in a statement he's embarrassed and sorry for using the racial slur. A clip shared he apologized, which they couldn't care less about. They don't want your apology.
They don't want it.
They don't accept it.
They never do.
I'm sorry.
They never do.
We don't care that you apologize. It's useless to apologize. So you might as well just deny it rather than say, "Yeah, I'm sorry for it." You shouldn't.
Well, instead of
it doesn't do you any good.
Say, I mean, he should say what if you listen to what happened. He was talking to his friends.
Yeah, it was like you've seen this too with people who use that word, the N-word, back and forth, and they don't mean it in a
derogatory manner.
Yeah.
It's just a friendship.
Right.
And it's just a friendship. I mean, that's what we're told from the African American community.
But you can't say it as a white person, and he's white. He says, I used an unacceptable and inappropriate racial slur that I wish I could take back. There are no excuses to use this type of language ever. I want to sincerely apologize for using the word. I promise to do better. Again, they don't care about your promises. They don't care if you're going to try to do better. They don't care if you repent. You're just done. You're done. You're seriously done now. Get this. Cumulus Media, which controls more than 400 radio stations in the United States.
They're on his side and saying he apologized and everything is fine.
They're not. Surprisingly, they've canceled all of his music. Sorry.
Wait, what?
We don't want you to play any more of Morgan Wallen's music ever.
Stop it.
And, you know, I love this. Here's their statement from Cumulus. Team, unfortunately, as if they are a team. You know, everybody at Cumulus they're all on the same page.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know that I've ever actually worked for Cumulus. I have worked for Cox
Cumulus.
Broadcasting and Clear Channel, which is
and
iHeart.
Oh, Clear.
Team.
Clean
Team.
and clear as the driven snow.
Yes.
Team, unfortunately, country music star Morgan Wallen was captured on video Sunday evening using a racial slur. Effective immediately, we request that all of Morgan Wallen's music, all, be removed from our playlist without exception. iHeartRadio also made the decision to pull Wallen's music. In light of Morgan Wallen's recent actions involving the use of a racial slur, we have made the decision to remove his music and content from our stations effective immediately. Are you kidding me?
Wow, that's huge. I mean, all that's left is the independents, and good luck when the smaller networks. So I mean, he still maybe can grab onto something.
No, SiriusXM and Pandora later made the decision to pull all of his content. His songs were also removed by Apple Music's country playlist.
Come on!
And Spotify's playlists.
The guy was drunk.
Yeah.
That's why he's mad, and the neighbor filmed it, right? Because he was loud outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells the guy, hey, take care of this P.A. word mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes on to say, take care of this P word, A-N word. So he's just drunk talking about his friends.
Right. And now he doesn't have a career anymore.
Yeah, I mean, done.
That is
he's over.
Shocking. Well, it's not now, but a few years ago it would have been shocking.
The only thing left, I mean, is people to continue to purchase his stuff.
Right.
And maybe he gets back on. Maybe somebody says, well, you know what? The people still like him. And,
no, that's not going to happen.
But it feels like he's done, right?
What is going to happen is this guy will wind up working, waiting tables at some restaurant, and they will find out about it.
Yeah.
And boycott the restaurant until they fire him. This guy's done earning a living ever again.
Right.
Isn't it weird, too? Clear Channel used to deny the fact, and they didn't, actually, that they banned certain groups.
Right.
Now they're proud of it.
Anti-American groups.
Proud of it now. Wow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.